Good afternoon. This is an unscheduled flight, Southwest 5238 with service to Seattle from Portland. Just gonna go ahead and start the setup. Fuel today is going to be 10,493. For payload, we have 115 passengers, and we have 4,025 pounds in baggage and 7,868 in cargo. So total will take 5334 on the forward and 6559 in the aft. And that should give us 115,000 pounds zero fuel weight, and we have 115.0 exactly. Go ahead and open the doors and start loading up the passengers. Alright, IRS alignment has started. Parking brake. And the wheel well warning looks good. Just working down the aft overhead panel, 1600 psi of O2. Flight recorder, clackers. Crew oxygen, lights test. All looks good. Waterfall down the overhead panel. Fuel crossfeed. It's operational. Electrical test. Overheat. Just testing the lights, switches. For hydraulics, A side is off, B side is on. No faults in the electrical system. Let's go ahead and set up the flight deck and cabin temperatures. That looks good. Cruise today is going to be 22,000 feet, so a short flight. And landing altitude is 433, so we'll take 450 in Seattle. Igniter is going to be on the right side. Alright, let's get the weather. Is my weather engine running? I guess it's not. Sorry, I thought I started the weather engine, but I guess I shut it down instead of minimizing it, so should be good to go.
Kilo, Papa, Delta, X-ray, airport information, Echo, 1953, Zulu, weather, wind, 285 at 6, visibility, 10, sky condition, few clouds at 3,000, ceiling, 4,600, broken, temperature, 182.7, altimeter, 3005, advise on initial contact, you have information, Echo, Kilo, Papa, Delta, X-ray, airport.
Alright, so what I have is winds from 285 at 6, 10 miles visibility. We have a broken layer at 4,600 and 3005 on the altimeter. So I'm going to zoom in here so you can see what I'm doing. We'll set up the flight route. Leaving Portland. And I already have the route pre-programmed on the PFPX. The flight's going to be 5238. We'll take runway 28R, I believe. Something happened when I generated the PFPX flight plan. For some reason it didn't give me the assumed temperature, so that's alright. Okay, so we'll take 28 right. But that's not the one that I wanted. I think I want 28 left. for departure. We're just gonna go direct. Direct COUGA. For arrival, I checked the weather. The center, the approach, Seattle approach is open, and they're reporting 16 right, landing and departing. So we'll do a visual. That's going to be fun to do. The bay visual, I believe the weather minimums are above what the requirements are for that approach. The bay visual is going to take us over the Puget Sound, right over the Seattle. The Seattle Space Needle is going to be on the left side. Downtown is going to be on the left. We're going to make a right, turn south from there, and land on 16 right, so it's going to be the third runway on the right hand side. And we'll take a we'll do a 5 mile runway extension on that one. Let's see, HAWKZ6 with Krieg transition. And that's going to be our arrival route. Alright, so let's take a look at the lags. So we have COUGA, Krieg, HAWKZ, line, pikes. Let me pull up the approach chart. So that we can go through it. I have an iPad, and I'm just looking at the sky vector on the iPad. So for the SID, we're taking HAWKZ6 RNAV. What are we doing for the Krieg transition? Where is it? Okay, so Krieg transition is what we're taking. HAWKZ, we need to be doing 270 and above 12,000. That's what we have here. Line. Line, and then pikes. Pikes, we need to be doing 250 and between 12 and 15. And that's what we have. Then we're going to Kofe, then Brave 250 between 10 and 11. Or Brave 250 between 10 and 11. Nets 230 and above 8. Key West above 7. Fashion 210 and 6,000. And then we have vectors to 16 right. 16 right, and we'll take, what did we say, 5 mile final. Let's do an 8-mile final because that's going to give us the. Let me just pull up the Bay Visual routing. The the Boeing field is it's about 6 miles out. Golf course is 8 miles. So I'll take. Let's do the 8-mile final with a 3% grade. And what does that give us? We'll take vectors, and then we have 8 miles before the runway. Set us up at 3,000. So there's the Alki point, 3,000. Alright, I think this looks good. We'll activate, execute, and let me see, this thing wants me to close the doors, so let me go ahead and take care of that real quick. Let's take a look up here. Yep, the doors are closed. Alright, performance. Plant fuel is going to be 10.2. That's our minimum takeoff. Zero fuel weight 115.0. We'll take 5 on the bingo fuel and 20 on the economy, which I understand is typical values for Southwest. 220 cruise. Cruise wind. That's the top of climb. For the first waypoint after the top of climb is 197 and 12. And temperature there is -25. That gives us a 4-degree deviation. Unable to 70 knots at HAWKZ, that's fine, we'll take care of that. Alright, let's take a look at HAWKZ 270, and we'll set 270 for the descent, and that should take care of that issue. And it's going to recompute. Derate to T01 for 22,000 pound thrust. Assume temperature. I screwed something up with PFPX and it didn't give me the assumed temperature, so I'm just going to leave that off. Runway winds are 285 at 6. Flaps 5, standard takeoff, trim 6.02, and we have 119 for V1, rotate at 124, and V2 132. Alright, that's all set. Let's 28 left is our departure, I believe. Two 8 left, so I'm gonna set up ILS for 28 left just in case something happens with the engines. We need to come back. 110.5 on the localizer. And we'll set it on both sides. Battleground is 116.6. Let's see, there's any other nav aids there. Newburgh 117.4. And that's where we would hold if we needed to do that. Alright, runway length is 11,023 on the elevation. And we'll take primary Cat 3 arm for LNAV, VNAV guidance on the HUD for departure. Alright, EFIS control. Let's go ahead and set that up. Minimums for 28 left, 306. Altimeter 3005. Turn on the VORs. Course out of here is going to be 283. Uh, 10,000 on initial climb. We'll take that, and for Mach speed or for airspeed, we'll take V2, which is 132. It's going to be initial speed. Flight director is on my side first, then the co-pilot, and the MCP is all set. Auto throttle, FMC, warnings, displays are working normally. 2103 Zulu time is current. 132 on the V2, 10,000, 3005 and 306, 45 V speeds are set, and we're set up for the ILS 28 left. Heading looks like 031 here, and 3005 and 3005. N1 and speed reference are in auto. Fuel reset system RTO. Put the co-pilot on the legs. 6.02 on trim. Takeoff warning. Squib test. Cargo fire warning is good. Standard IFR. Squawk code 2200. And stall warning.
TCAS test. Pass.
Glide slope. Pull up.
Get the APU going.
Wind shear. Wind shear. Wind shear. Terrain. Terrain. Pull up. Sink rate. Pull up. Terrain. Pull up. Don't sink. Don't sink. Too low. Terrain. Too low. Gear. Too low. Flaps.
Alright,
Too
fire
low,
warning
terrain.
and
Glide
overheat.
slope.
Check start levers.
Bank angle. Bank angle. Minimums. 500.
Step trim
400.
light start. 0 fuel weight.
300. 200. 100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10. Wind shear. Wind shear. Wind shear. Too low. Terrain. Caution. Terrain. 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 Pull up.
Just going through the checklist. Before start checklist. Oxygen quantity is 1600 psi. EECs are on. Nav transfer switches are normal. Display switches are auto and normal. Passenger signs, fuel. We have 10.5 thousand pounds of fuel on board. 10.7 rather. And we need 10.2 minimum for departure, so we're good to go on that. Distance to go to Seattle is 134 nautical miles and 128 according to my plan, so the routing is set up correctly. It's just another way of checking the routing to see if the distances align. Passenger signs are on. Windows heat is on. Hydraulic pumps, A side is off, B side is on. Pressurization is set for cruise flight level 220 and 450 and arrival. Flight instruments are set and cross-checked. Auto brake is RTO. Takeoff warning horn is checked. Parking brake set. Aileron, rudder trim are centered. Ready to push back and start. Let's see if ATC is on. ATC is not on, so we'll just go ahead and push back. Just verify to see where we're located. So we're pointing heading 031, and I have no idea where we are. It's probably need to go nose right on the pushback. Before we do that, let's disconnect from the ground. APU is on and it's pumping out 47 amps, 115 volts. Take nose right. Alaskan Airlines are servicing this flight. These guys are not in a hurry, to tell you that. They're always taking their time. Parking brake is off. Alright, number 2. Alright, duct pressure is normal. And looking for 25% on N2. Comes the fuel. And the mixture is lit. Just watching the EGT for EGT overrun. Starter cut out at 56. N2. There goes the starter. And we're good. We're good at number 2. It's number 1. Duct pressure is rising. %, on N1 is what we're looking for. N2, rather. Here comes the fuel. And the mixture is lit. Watching for the EGT overrun. Starter cut out at 56. And start valve is closed. EGT rollback. And we're stable. Flaps 5. Recall. And controls. Alright, before taxi, electricals, DC side looks normal. AC is normal. Generators are on. Probe heat is on. Anti-ice is not required. Start switches are left and continuous. Flight controls are free. Start levers are idle, and flaps are set to 5 and indicated 5 in green lights. Pre-taxi checks complete. Parking brakes are coming off. Alright, and let's go see where we are. Bravo intersect. Tango Bravo. So we're pointing 112. Tango Bravo. Alright, I think we're going in the right direction. We need to go all the way down Bravo, all the way to the end. I never know, like, whatever gate or stand I'm at, I never know which way I need to turn for pushback. It's always kind of a little bit of a guessing game, but you know, just what I do is I look at the heading indicator and look at the airport diagram on SkyVector and try to kind of figure out. Alright, so this is Bravo 6 to the right, and we are on Bravo. Two 8 left is the runway just to our right. And it is. There's an Alaskan flight that's near the airport now. He's on the approach for 28 right, so I'm just gonna type up a quick message to him to let him know that I'm taking off 28 left. Bleeds are in auto, sorry, impacts are in auto, bleeds are on. APU is off. I'm just gonna stop here for a second. Send him the message. Should be good to go. Alright, so the message, KPDX traffic, Boeing 737 departing, runway 28 left, up to Portland. Okay, thank you. Flight attendant notification, lights on, taxi light off. Strobing steady, and the wing light is on. That's him right there. Because he's going for a different runway, so we're good. Ready to go. 40%. Stable. Toga. That master caution that just came up. Sometimes that happens. I'll explain it in a minute. 80 knots. Clear. Gear up. At 400 feet, we're gonna click on the LNAV and VNAV for guidance. Flaps 1. So the reason why I'm clicking on the LNAV and VNAV is to engage the flight guidance, the path vector that I'm following in the middle of the HGS. Coming up on flaps up speed, on course. Flap 0, clean up, gears off. Initial altitude is 10,000. Climbing through at 3,700 now. Outside temperature is plus 18. So I'm not going to worry about the anti-ice until the temperature drops to plus 10. And we should be able to make it between those clouds. Bit off track and we'll get back on course. $7,500. I'm going to put the autopilot in command mode now. Autopilot has the airplane, and I'm going to get the altitude up to cruise. COUGA is our first waypoint. 20 miles. Pressurization check. It's normal. Pressure is climbing. Temperature plus 12. Might have to punch a hole for that cloud. I'll loop the starters and continues for now. I'm going to go ahead and click on the NTIs. The FMC's probably going to yell at me about that. Just until we get through this cloud layer. Get rid of the HGS now. Climb check, pressurization is checked. Start switches are continuous for now. APU is off. Flaps are 0, lights out. That master caution light that came on during the takeoff roll, it goes away immediately. That's normal for 737-700 series airplanes. I've read about this. There's actually a door seal on the overhead doors that traps moisture, and it sends a false alarm once the thrust levers go beyond a certain point that the doors command lock command is sent. And the master caution goes away. So climbing through 18,000. We're out of the clouds. Temperature is -3. And we're on speed and on course. Coming up on cruise now. Let's do a quick system check. DC, AC, normal, cabin and flight deck temperatures look normal. Duct pressure is normal. Packs are in auto, bleeds are on. Pressurization is normal. N2s are pumping out 82%, 2.3 on the fuel flow. Oil pressure is normal, temperature is normal, quantity is normal, Hydraulics, quantity, and pressures are normal. We're from the top of descent. Oh, that's a quick flight. Seattle approach is on 125.6. Miles from the top of descent.
FedEx 4 doing normal speed now. Yeah, 47, don't worry, we're going normal speed.
This is a really short flight. Alright, altitude 12,000. First altitude restriction is 12,005 miles. Okay, so for the ATIS, the weather at Seattle, winds at 180 at 5, visibility is 10, sky conditions, broken 3,500, overcast 4,900, temperature 18, dew point 11, altimeter 3007. 2 miles from the top of descent. We're going to retard the throttle, so we're going to get a throttle retard warning on the FMC any second now. There's a retard.
Cargo 7.5, descend maintain 4,000. Descend maintain 4,000, cargo up 7.5.
We're on VNAV. Alright, and that's information Foxtrot is what we have here. Altimeter 3007. Altimeter set. Going to be landing flaps 40. VREF is 128.
Now I go.
And 16 right is what we're taking, so let's go ahead and set up. .75.
Cargo 775, turn right heading 070. Turn right heading 070, cargo looks 775.
116.8 on Seattle.
055. We can be leaving my airspace shortly. Frequency change approved to advisor. Radar services terminated. Have a great flight up to Glacier Bar.
And November 055, radar services terminated, and we'll switch to advisory. Thanks again for your help. We'll see you next time.
We'll take BMC primary on this one for a visual. Alright, outside temperature is -2. We are out of the clouds for now. We're pretty close, so I'm going to go ahead and click on the starters to continues and engine NTs.
Cargo 775, continue turn now to 150. Right heading 150, cargo 775. FedEx 477, wind. 190 at 3, runway 14 right, clear the wind.
Runway 14 right, FedEx 477.
And cargo 775, continue that turn now to 170 to join. 10 altitude to 170, cargo 775. Cargo 775. 10 miles from Anvil. Maintain 4,000 until established on the local exit clear for the ILS 16 center. Maintain 4,000 until established on the local exit clear for the ILS 16 center. ILS 775.
FedEx 477, wow.
FedEx 477, you said going this?
FedEx 477, we're going live.
Alright, FedEx 477, climb maintain 2,000, runway heading.
2,000 runway heading, FedEx 477.
Seattle approach, southwest 5238 with you. Would like a bay visual at 16 left if possible.
Southwest 5238, be advised. At Seattle, we're experiencing now a broken ceiling at 3,500. And overcast at 4,900, still want the visual.
The minimums for the visual I believe are listed as 3,100, but we're going to be right on top of the airport at that point, so maybe we'll take an ILS 16 right if that works for you.
That'll work for us. Expect an ILS 16 right. Heading southwest 5238, squawk Columbia. Southwest 5238, squawk 1514, ident.
4514 and ident, southwest 5238.
That's 1514.
1514, southwest 5238.
And FedEx 477, turn left, heading 340. Climb maintain 4,000.
340 up to 4,000, FedEx 437.
Southwest 5238, radar contact. Continue descending via the HAWKZ6 arrival. Expect ILS 16 right. Is that what you want?
Yes, sir, that would be great. HAWKZ6 and 16 right for southwest 5238.
Cargo 775, wind 16085, runway 16 center, clear. Runway 16 center, clear on cargo 775. FedEx 477, cleared direct jug log at above 1,700, cleared for the RNAV GPS approach to 14 right.
477, that's the direct Susan, and looks like 3,400 above us for Susan, over quickly on absolute.
FedEx 477, I can get you a low bell if that can be better for you.
FedEx 477, we had negative low falls and get to the northwest, we're closer to Susan.
Roger, I understand.
And Seattle approach southwest 5238, we have Foxtrot on the weather.
Southwest 5238, say again.
Yes sir, I was just saying we have Foxtrot, latest weather for ATIS.
Roger, descend maintain 4,000.
Say again on the altitude, was that 4,000?
Correct, southwest 5238, descend maintain, let's descend maintain 3,000, sorry, 3,000.
Roger that, 3,000 southwest 5238.
Roger, I'm going to PTAC you a little bit early to Anvil, so that's why I'm getting you lower.
Yep.
Southwest 5238. Southwest 5238. Continue that descent to 2,500, 2,500.
2,500 for southwest 5238.
Cargo 775, exit left 18.
Left, hello, cargo left 775.
Southwest 5238 to right heading 070.
Right 070 southwest 5238.
Cargo 775, vacate 167 on Papa.
Cargo 775, continue on Papa, cross 16 left, follow to the gate.
Cross only 16 left, with Papa and have to be brought to the gate, cargo 795.
And Southwest 5238, can that turn to a heading of make that heading 150, no, correction, make that heading 110.
Okay, no problems. 110 Southwest 5238.
In Southwest 5238, continue turning now 140, 140.
140 Southwest 5238.
Southwest 5238, became 2,400, shall establish on local education, the ILS 16
2400 till established and cleared for 16 right, Southwest 5238.
Southwest 5238, can you increase speed slightly to 200 knots?
200 Southwest 5238.
Just for a moment here, I'm trying to get some separation from arriving traffic for the flowing field.
Roger that.
Southwest 5238, resume normal speed. Thank you.
Roger that, normal speed, Southwest 5238.
And FedEx 477, can you reduce speed to 150, 150?
FedEx 477, that's going to be unable. We can keep 160.
Roger, delay the speed change.
Why the approach is not engaging. There's the Boeing field.
Southwest 5238, wind 16085, runway 16 right, clear to land.
16 right, clear to land, Southwest 5238, thanks. Some visual.
FedEx 477, you have traffic crossing Bowling Field now. It's a To Boeing 737 descending to 1,500 feet, reporting site.
Clearance 477, we got filed on traffic, right?
Roger, understand you're in the suit. Thank you.
Alright, flaps down 40, green. Speed brake is armed. On visual, I'm not sure why the ILS is not. It's not clicking on. Oh, the autopilot's off. My airplane.
FedEx 477 traffic no longer factor.
477, we clear runway report.
Yeah, let's get ready to give it to you. Wind 190 at 3, runway 14 right, clear to land.
Cool on 14 right, FedEx 477.
Auto throttle's off. Landing. Make left on Mike if that's okay, Southwest 523.
Southwest 5238, 5238, roger. You can do November if you want. Next taxiway, high-speed taxiway to the left. Southwest 5238, you can continue on November, cross 16 left, follow to the gate.
Cross 16 left to the gate, Southwest 5238. Thank you, sir. Let's retract the flaps. Speed brake. Alright, so where's Southwest? This on the other side of this concourse. Is offline. We're over there, just to the left, to the right of the main building there. 35 minutes. That was quick. It was nice though. I was hoping the weather would be a little bit better, that we could take that visual. bay visual, that would have been awesome. I'll have to try it again someday. So this video was requested by a viewer of the channel, and I always appreciate when people look at my videos. Let me know what you think in the comments. It's really great to have an exchange going with like-minded individuals, pilots. You know, hopefully we can all learn from each other, and that's always great. So thanks so much. This was a really cool flight. Thanks for the suggestion. I'll have to do it again someday when the weather is a little bit better and we can check that visual approach, the bay visual. Let's open up the doors and get the passengers out. Alaska. I think that's it. Thanks again, and we'll see you later.